Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Dynasty. What I got for y'all today is a Mortal Kombat 11 video, and the topic of today's video is going to be finishers inside of Mortal Kombat 11. Of course, you guys, with Mortal Kombat comes fatalities. That is like a staple of the franchise. It's arguably one of the reasons why we have ESRB ratings now, so of course, finishers inside of Mortal Kombat games just go hand in hand, and lately, with the last two installments, Mortal Kombat 9 and Mortal Kombat X, we saw several classic finishers make a comeback. Back in Mortal Kombat 9, we saw Babalities, which I really enjoyed to actually see return. Mortal Kombat X, we saw the return of Brutalities, and we even saw some new things implemented. For instance, we had Quitalities, we had Faction Kills, and even a new take on Brutalities with Stage Brutalities. So it seems like every new Mortal Kombat installment, something gets brought back, or something gets, I guess, changed up a bit and introduced for the very first time. So I think it's safe to assume with Mortal Kombat 11, we're going to see either a brand new finisher created or an old finisher make a comeback. So with that said, in this video, I'm going to discuss what I believe is the top 3 finishers that have a chance of making a comeback and debut for the very first time in what appears to be over a decade. It's been a long time since any of these finishers have even made it inside a Mortal Kombat game. So with that said, first things first, the first big 3 is the Animality. Now, an Animality is pretty much what the name suggests. You guys may or may not know what this is. Back inside of Mortal Kombat 3, your character, instead of performing a fatality, would just change and morph into an animal. And what's crazy is these animals are not what you'd assume the character would turn into. Like, for instance, Scorpion does not turn into a scorpion. He turns into a penguin. I'm not making this up. That was what Animalities were back in the day, so it was really just lighthearted fun that the guys at Midway Studios threw into Mortal Kombat 3, because I think at the time, they were under a ton, and I mean a ton of scrutiny for, like, violence in video games, and this was their way, NetherRealm Studios and, Midway, to sit back, relax, and be like, oh yeah, we're not taking this so serious. I mean, come on, a penguin killing someone, so it was like their way to poke fun at the fact that this was supposed to be like the most violent video game of all time. So if Animalities did make a return in any regard to Mortal Kombat 11, I would really hope that NetherRealm Studios could pull them off, but make sure it still is in the same tone that we saw recently with Mortal Kombat X. Now, you guys probably, if you've played all the Mortal Kombat games, you do know that, I guess, Mortal Kombat now is a lot more serious and grittier and darker than it's ever been, you know what I mean? Like, yes, you still have your lighthearted jokes here and there, Johnny Cage and stuff, but for the most part, there's, like, dire circumstances. People are dying, people are getting decapitated, like, there's meaning in these actions, and I hope that, of course, MK11 follows suit with that, and because of that, if the game is meant to be taken a lot more serious, let's have serious Animalities. Now, as much as I would love to see a penguin kill someone in a video game, let's just, let's do some things that make some sense. Like, for instance, back inside of Mortal Kombat 4, Scorpion does indeed have a fatality where he turns into a scorpion and kills his opponent. Now, why can't we have that again inside of Mortal Kombat 11? That actually makes a lot more sense than Scorpion turning into a penguin. I mean, for instance, also, it seems like in every Mortal Kombat game, Liu Kang is constantly turning into a dragon. So for MK11, his Animality could be he becomes a dragon, he eats his opponent in half, and then boom! I know it's not as crazy and over the top as what we saw back in Mortal Kombat 3, but this time, though, it's just fitting the tone of the game. It's dark, it's serious, it's gritty. I think if pulled off right, it would be a great feature to have inside of MK11. Now, Boon has teased the idea of Animalities making a comeback inside of Mortal Kombat X before the game launched. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, so hey, maybe Boon's open to that idea if it does, fit the tone for the game as well. Time will tell, guys, but I think me personally, I want to see Animalities come back the most. Now, moving on to another finisher that might be making a comeback inside of Mortal Kombat 11. It was first introduced inside of Mortal Kombat 2 and it was also part of Mortal Kombat 3. That is none other than the Friendship. And pretty much, the Friendship was a way for your character to not kill your opponent after beating them inside battle. For instance, you would see Cyrax, instead of performing a fatality, he would just start breakdancing, or Kung Lao, instead of throwing his hat and decapitating you, he would pull out a bunny from his hat like a magician. So these finishers were, again, a way for Midway Studios to make people aware that they were not trying to take this game as just a super serious, violent video game. Like, there was some funny aspects to it as well. And what's really cool, too, is at one point in time, Friendships were going to make a comeback inside of Mortal Kombat 9, according to Ed Boon over on Twitter. Instead, though, you guys do know we got Babalities, so hey, NetherRealm Studios at one point in time was open to this idea. Then again, this was back in 2011 in Mortal Kombat 9, and of course the game is a bit darker now, you know what I mean? Like, things aren't as jiggly, and there's not just gore for the sake of there being gore, so I'm not too sure if they would pull it off again, but if they did, It would be awesome to actually have a way to not kill your best friend and rip out their spine. It would just be like, oh man, you're my buddy, I like you, I'm not gonna kill you. Instead, I'm gonna give you a birthday cake. Like, a lot of these friendships, if they did make a comeback, would be really sick to see with like these modern graphics as well. So friendships, I think there is a chance, if any. Moving on though to the very last one. Now, this one is one that I really like to use inside of Mortal Kombat Deception. That was the Hara-Kiri. Now, unfortunately, it's only been inside Mortal Kombat Deception, and pretty much the Hara-Kiri was a nifty way for you to kill yourself before your opponent can perform a fatality on you, and I think that in modern time would be really cool to use, especially with like the online features we have these days. Hara-Kiris would offer a last laugh for people who barely lost battles, and it's like, man, you might have kicked my ass throughout the game, however, I'm faster than you on the sticks. I know you want to rip out my spine, but thankfully, I'm Kenshi. I got a blade, and I'll just slice my body in half myself. So I think it also is just perfect and fitting to the tone that Mortal Kombat is going in. It's dark, it's gritty. There's nothing funny about a warrior killing themselves because they don't want to get killed by someone else, you know what I mean? So that is like super dark and super crazy, and it's a shame that it never made a comeback, and it's been long overdue, I think, because like I mentioned, me personally, this is probably my favorite one that I want to see make a comeback, because like I just see the scenarios online. Like, there's so many quitalities online. I would not quit a match if I knew that I could still get the last laugh even though I lost 2 rounds online. But guys, that is all I got for y'all today. 3 finishers that we might be seeing implemented inside of Mortal Kombat 11. Again, Animalities, Friendships, and Hara-Kiris. I think Hara-Kiris are the most fitting. I think Friendships would be the funniest. And I think that the Animalities would be the most over-the-top and insane thing to see get pulled off. If they pull off Animalities, that would be so sick. Anyways, guys, that is it. If you did enjoy the video, please drop a like on it. Make sure to subscribe for some more Injustice 2, Soul Calibur 6, MK11, and Terry Drum 2 content. Until next time, I've been your host, Dynasty. Take care, stay safe in the comment section below. Let me know which one of these 3 finishes do you want to see and why. I'll see you guys later. Peace.
One of the greatest. You deserve more exposure, man, you underrated. To all the Dynasty haters, promise you'll love him later. Y'all gon' react like he did when he seen the trailer. But hold up, let me hit y'all with a twist. Wait, I'm Sub-Zero, the rap game is the Lin Kuei. You see, I've been a fan of Dynasty for years now. GTA, MK, Injustice, I'm still down. Rapper